Hello everyone, welcome to our AcuSeek Introduction Webinar 2025. I'm Nick Robinson, a pre-sale specialist with Hikvision. Also, should you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to share them in the chat box and our product team will be happy to respond to you. And finally, before we start the webinar, please stay to the end of the webinar as we have an exciting opportunity for you all. We'll be covering the following topics today. This includes an overview of what is AcuSeek, the highlights of AcuSeek, the product showcase detailing the compatibility and product availability, and some solutions where AcuSeek can be utilised. There have been challenges searching for events or occurrences, as the information provided may be limited and not have an event associated. This results in manual playback, which is very time consuming. Over the years, the search of video data for events has evolved. Hikvision has been at the forefront of this evolution, helping customers to refine and quickly search events with accuracy. And now, with AcuSeek, we can take an even bigger step into a new and exciting level. As previously mentioned, Hikvision has been at the forefront of faster, smarter video searching. We now have 4 smart search facilities. And as we look at this slide, smart search, this is based on our deep learning algorithm and is commonly utilised in our AcuSense cameras and NVRs. By creating a rule within the camera field of view and programmed to identify human or vehicle targets. Now Sliceback, this utilises thumbnails visually detailed in the playback menu of the NVR, giving a quick manual search method to locate an incident or event. And then we have AcuSearch. This facility has 2 functions. When utilising a compatible NVR and camera, a rule can be created to retrospectively look for activity within the field of view of a camera by creating an appropriate rule. And secondly, when events have been identified within the search menu of the NVR, further activity based on the characteristics of this event can be searched and found by the NVR. And now we have the next generation, AcuSeek. Now we can type free text into the NVR and with our hardware and software platforms to find specific types of people, vehicles, objects and more. Now let's look at the AcuSeek function on an NVR. We will also review how easy it is to type the search details and speed of the results that are returned. AcuSeek NVRs are based on a large multimodal AI model. This enables video searches to be performed using text. This provides quick search results of videos featuring the specific search criteria. As we can see illustrated in this slide, we can be specific. A person wearing a red top and white trousers. The results are displayed in seconds. Also, it should be highlighted that there is no reliance on the cloud, as the large multimodal AI model is contained within the hardware, i.e. the NVR. We shall now look at the highlights of AcuSeek. The main highlights is the flexibility and speed of the search facility. The ability to type free text makes the search function more flexible and refined whilst producing quick and fast results in seconds. The AcuSearch large multimodal AI model provides a facility within the NVR environment to not only perform broad-based searches like human or vehicle, but a person entering specific areas, specific vehicle locations, and object-only searches, for example, a backpack or handbag. This AI model is being improved and enhanced as part of Hikvision's baseline development, providing future scenarios that will be added. In this slide, we can now link AcuSeek results with AcuSearch. The large multimodal AI model will compare selected events from the AcuSeek search results and produce further refined results based on the comparison selected within the time and date range also selected. This slide illustrates this two-step function, enabling the user to further refine and find more detailed results on the searched subject criteria. Based on the colour of the target's top, trousers and any noticeable accessory, it could also provide the target's activity path and show results from other cameras where the AcuSearch results have been found. We can also perform the AcuSeek text input in multiple languages. Currently, the available language is based on the firmware version. First compatible firmware released in July 2025 includes the languages as detailed in the slide. The second release of the compatible firmware is to be released in mid-September 2025, also as detailed in the slide. And the third release of compatible firmware is in the planning stage and is expected to include the languages as shown. Please note all European languages are highlighted in red on this slide. Not only can we import free text, but we can also import voice that converts into text. This is currently achieved by utilising the HikConnect app, and please use the latest version. When on the HikConnect app on your mobile device and entering the application mode, you select the AcuSeek icon and talk into your mobile device and search. Again, the language support will be as per the firmware version detailed in the previous slide. This function provides a quick and convenient method of accessing data away from your office or home. Currently, this feature is only available on HikConnect. Now let's look at the user-friendly interface. The interface is clean and uncluttered, making it a very user and intuitive environment. Features include favorites, suggestions, people, vehicle, and non-motor vehicle options. In addition, the quick search criteria can be chosen. For example, the colour of a person's top and their gender. This simple but powerful interface with options that can be selected and with predetermined favourites enable you to input your search criteria in a quick and very efficient manner. Any search within the history can be assigned as a favourite with one click of your mouse. Also, all recent search criteria are displayed and can be chosen again to provide an instant search request. Now, by double-clicking on a displayed thumbnail within the search results window, the thumbnail will be displayed in full screen mode and the associated video will be played back. When utilising Hikvision software, you can easily access and manage video footage across multiple NVRs and cameras. So one search instruction will result in providing the required search criteria across multiple devices, as illustrated in this slide. This can save you time if utilised with AcuSearch. Again, this function does not use any cloud-based large multimodal AI model. This function is contained within the hardware. AcuSeek is available on all platforms with a visual search function. This includes the NVR webpage, the local GUI, HikConnect, HikCentral Lite, and from September, HikCentral Professional. Please check with your specific region, as HikCentral 3.0.1 will not be adopted in all regions initially. Please refer to your regional project manager to confirm release dates and version. This slide also details the basic topology of a system with AcuSeek capability and the 5 back-end platforms capable of carrying out the search input and delivering the results for review and playback. AcuSeek will not only support certain AcuSense IP and PTZ cameras, but also will be able to use Hikvision standard IP or third-party IP cameras with the ONVIR protocol. This will enable existing sites to be upgraded to the AcuSeek platform. As mentioned, AcuSeek is specifically supported with models that have the AcuSearch function. This is detailed in the final section of this webinar. And again, please confirm with your local regional product teams for the models that are supported. The use of Hikvision standard IP or third-party IP cameras with the ONVIR protocol will only be available for the DeepInMind Pro NVR and the Fusion server that will be released in Q4. And again, just to confirm, will be region dependent, and please refer to your regional product team for information. We will now review the specific products available that will have the AcuSeek capability. Based on the Hikvision Guanlan Large-Scale AI Model and AcuSeek technology, we will release a complete set of AcuSeek products from the edge to the center, i.e. from camera to NVR. The models of NVR planned as detailed in this slide. We start with the entry-level product, the IV Pro NVR, with 4 models in this range. The next in the AcuSeek NVR family is the new DeepInMind Pro NVR, with 5 models available. And finally, we introduced the Fusion server with 2 available models. We can now compare the 3 different AcuSeek NVR options. The IV Pro can surge up to 64 channels. This is dependent on the model and the appropriate number of channels and requires AcuSense cameras with the AcuSearch function. Further details will be given in the next slides. The retrievable target ranges are limited to people and vehicles. Associated searches, objects such as bags and backpacks will be associated with a person. The IV Pro NVR has a search speed of 3 days in seconds and up to 300,000 model objects per day. The new DeepInMind Pro NVR, again dependent on the model, can search up to 64 channels with the use of the appropriate AcuSense cameras and up to 32 channels with non-AI IP cameras. However, now we can search people, vehicles and objects separately, with objects not dependent on being associated with people or vehicles. The speed increases to 7 days in seconds, and now we can carry out the AcuSeek function with third-party IP cameras with the ONVIR protocol, up to 32 channels. And the number of modelled objects per day increases to 600,000. And now the Fusion server increases the capability of the AcuSeek function with up to 256 channels with any combination of the appropriate AcuSense cameras or non-AI cameras, and the same retrievable target range as the new DeepInMind Pro NVR. However, the search speed is now increased to 15 days in seconds, and the number of modelled objects per day is increased to 4 million objects per day. The new DeepInMind Pro NVR and Fusion server with future development, currently with the R&D team, will have 2 new exciting features that will be available. The first is the self-defined application with text input. This allows you to perform a text to event linkage. It enables an event or alarm to be created based on text. For example, a person with a red top enters an area. An event with alarm notification and linkages can be produced. This function can automatically detect events you want to focus on in a real-time situation. The second new function, fine-tuning search results by manual. You'll be able to select results manually and highlight them for errors. The algorithm will then self-learn to increase the accuracy and performance of the AcuSeek function over time. And now we're going to look at the AcuSeek compatible cameras. On this slide, we have listed the 2 and 3 series camera versions and models that support front-end and back-end collaboration for the AcuSeek function. Please note the camera model and firmware. As a rule, the latest firmware for the camera model detailed is required. If in doubt, please contact your local regional product team. All devices listed have been released in EU regions. Now this slide, we have listed the 7-line and PTZ series versions and the models that support front-end and back-end collaboration for the AcuSeek function. Again, all devices listed have been released in EU regions. Please also note there may be other models like the 5 series and Guanlan Large-Scale AI Models that also are compatible. Finally, we will review some solutions for the use of AcuSeek and how they can be achieved for different scenarios and solutions. This solution is based around a small to medium-sized project that could include retail, residential or office type locations. By utilising Hikvision's cameras with the AcuSearch function and the IV Pro NVRs, and if used in conjunction with our back-end software solution as detailed in this slide. This provides the end user with end-to-end solutions for utilising the AcuSeek function. As the IV Pro solution supports up to 16 channels, this is ideal for small to medium-sized applications. If utilised with HikConnect, this provides a cost-effective, flexible, hardware-based solution for the end user, giving remote real-time AcuSeek and AcuSearch functionality. With HikCentral Lite, this provides the next level of professional hardware-based interaction and search capability for remote real-time AcuSeek and AcuSearch functionality in a PC-based environment. HikCentral Professional provides the end user with both hardware and software-based solutions and can utilise the function across multiple sites. This is a license-based solution. The next solution is based on a medium to large project scenario, but also where a potential upgrade utilising existing site IP cameras or third-party IP cameras. The use of the new DeepInMind Pro NVR is then utilised. In addition, we also have more search options. Not only can people or vehicle-related searches be carried out, but we can now also search object and events. Objects do not have to be related to a person or vehicle. For example, a bag or backpack can be searched and identified without a person being present. Smart features such as manual optimization and event and alarm by text currently in development, once available, will enhance this type of project capability. With a medium or large scale scenario, the use of our security management software is advised. With HikCentral Lite, this provides a next level of professional hardware-based interaction and search capability for remote real-time AcuSeek and AcuSearch functionality. With HikCentral Professional, the end user has both hardware and software-based solutions available and can utilise the function across multiple sites with this less license-based solution. And now the third solution is based on a larger scenario utilising the Fusion server. Due to the large camera capability, we are looking at large-scale sites like university campuses, industrial parks and cities. As per the DeepInMind Pro NVR, we can also have the option to utilise conventional Hikvision IP cameras and third-party IP cameras with the OnVIB capability. And can search people or vehicle-related searches and search objects and events. Objects also do not have to be related to a person or vehicle. Again, smart features such as manual optimization and event and alarm by text currently in development, once available, will enhance this type of project capability and provide greater user functionality and system ability for those scenario types. The use of our back-end security management software will complete this type of project, with Hike Central Professional possibly the preferred option for this large-scale scenario. The end user has both hardware and software-based solutions available and can utilize the function across multiple sites with this license-based solution. So now we're going to start the demo of AcuSeek. I'm going to look at 4 subjects: user-friendly GUI menu, AcuSeek function demo for different objects, the AcuSeek function link with AcuSearch, and then finally we're going to look at voice search and text search in the Hike Connect app. So now we'll move on to the user-friendly GUI, and you'll see from the NVR GUI we have this additional menu option here, this icon, AcuSeek, and we can click on AcuSeek, and this takes us to the new crisp intuitive interface that we can quickly select or enter in text for searching. So we have predefined searches, so we have person-related searches, and in the person-related searches we can choose the colour of somebody's top, their bottoms, any accessories, behaviours and gender. So these are predefined terms within the algorithm. Same for vehicle. We can select quite simple vehicle colours, some common vehicle brands and vehicle types based on the size or type of vehicle. We then have non-motor vehicles where we can select bicycle, motorcycle and scooter. The object and animal selection are currently not supported. Here we can select the amount of days that we want the search criteria to search for, so we can select today, 3 days, 7 days, and we can do a custom search. However, we are limited to only 7 days per search selection. We then have also built in some behavioural algorithms or search facilities and some transportation based on motorcycle, bicycle and scooter. You'll see here that we have a brief history, so these are some recent history searches that have been done, and you'll see any search that has a white star, that means that's been added to the favourites. As you can see, backpack is added to the favourites. If I remove backpack, it's now not fully starred in white, it's now just outlined again and that adds it back to the favourites. Okay, so this ends the brief introduction to the GUI on the NVR, and we'll now move on to the AcuSeek function demo where we'll do some searching from some live data. So now we're going to review the AcuSeek function for different search objects. So you see here now from I'm on the web GUI of the IV Pro NVR, and one of the most important things that we need to ensure is we need to ensure that the engine for AcuSeek and AcuSearch have been enabled. So we'll need to go into the Event Center, and then we need to go into VCA configuration and the engine settings. So you'll see here I've already pre-selected the AcuSearch and the AcuSeek function on either of the 2 chips within the engine. You'll see that we can choose different engines, but because we want to use the AcuSeek feature, we need to ensure that both these are running. Then the next element is to select a AcuSearch enabled camera, and we've been through this earlier in the webinar detailing which cameras have the AcuSearch function. You'll see here that I've already got 4 cameras selected. I've got 1 camera here that I can't select because that doesn't have a AcuSearch enabled function, but I have a 7-1 7-line dome here that I can select. So I can select that and I add that to the engine. So that's added to AcuSeek, and then I just need to confirm that that's added to the AcuSearch engine and save that. So now all my enabled cameras are ready. Obviously the new camera, there will be no metadata for any search parameters that go in the past, but from this moment forward that camera will be sending metadata to the NVR to enable the AcuSeek and AcuSearch functions. So now we're going to look at the AcuSeek menu, and you can see the menu is virtually identical to the GUI on the NVR, just a slightly different color and feel, but it's the same intuitive, clean environment where we can import text, free text here, but also we've got predetermined person, vehicle and non-motor vehicle search criteria. So if we look at person first, so we can quickly search for some common colours of people's tops, the same for people's bottoms, i.e. trousers, pants, shorts, skirts. Accessories, so we can look at people's hats, glasses, mask, handbags and backpacks. Then behaviours, please note these are predetermined within the algorithm. You can't add to these at this moment in time. And then we can select their gender, male or female. We look at motor vehicle, and again we've got the type of vehicle, truck, off-road vehicle, MPV, station wagon, etc. We can then look at the brand, so we've got some common brand types here. And then we've got some basic colours that you can use for quick search. Then finally we've got non-motor vehicles, and we can choose bicycle, motorcycle and scooter. The object and animal search, they're currently not supported. So if we move across here, this is where we can set our day criteria, so we can choose today, the past 3 days, the past 7 days, or we can do a custom search based on what's available on the hard drive. So if we've got 30 days recording, we can go back 30 days. However, we can only search in blocks of 7 days. So only up to 7 days at a time can be searched. Okay, so we'll set this one for 7 days. We've also got some suggestions. These are based on behaviours. Again, these are written into the algorithm. And then we've got transportation, which is basically identical to the non-motor vehicle criteria. You also see here that we've got some recently searched searches here where we've put free text in, and this saves your recent searches. We can also add these by clicking on the star, and the star becomes solid in colour, and that then adds it to our favourites. So now you see I've got person handling a lawnmower and backpack in my favourites. So as an example, if I click on that now, that's going to search for the last 7 days, and there we have it. We've got some gardeners cutting the lawn, and that was quick, over a 7-day period, producing results within seconds. We can highlight a particular clip or thumbnail, and then we can use the play icon to start playing back that video footage. And there we are in full screen playing back that footage. And we're lucky here today, we've actually got 2 people handling lawnmowers. We can reduce that now to a smaller screen. We also have the option here to do AcuSeek. So we've got this little icon here. By clicking on that icon, it then takes us to the AcuSearch function and brings up all relevant search criteria based on that thumbnail image. So let's do another search. Let's look at postman. And here we are, we've done a quick search of the postman. Some of these are deliveries, but quite clearly here we do have a postman. So again, I can quickly play back that footage. And also I can use the AcuSearch function to look for similar criteria based on this thumbnail search criteria. And again, within seconds, I got very similar results. So that's the end of this part of the demonstration, where we're looking at AcuSeek and AcuSearch. We're looking at the different search menus and the different search options, the playback, and we're looking at how we can utilize AcuSearch. So now we're going to do the final part of our demonstration, and we're going to look at voice search and text search on the HikConnect app. So as you can see here, I'm connected to my personal devices here, and I can look at the IV Pro NVR like I normally would. Yeah. But for this function and to do voice and text searches, we need to go to applications. So at the bottom here we've got applications, and then you see in the personal applications we've got AcuSeek. So I select AcuSeek, and we've got similar menu structure to what we had with the NVR GUI and the web GUI, where we can do person, vehicle or non-motor vehicle type searching. Okay, so to do your quick search, we can look at quick search where we can do person, and again we can select the different pre-selected built into the algorithm searches, and we can also select how many days that we wish to search up to. So we've got the last 7 days, the last 3 days, or today. Okay. Another important point is if we click on the cog, we look at the intelligence settings, and this is where we can select multiple NVRs, multiple devices that are connected to our account, and also we can select the appropriate cameras within those devices that have the AcuSearch facility enabled. And we can switch them on and we can switch them off depending if we want to use them for the search criteria. We can have our default time search, the last 7 days, which we've got selected, and we've only got one device in the AcuSeek range that we're demonstrating today. So let's go back to the search, and let's look at for a Ford car. So I've typed in Ford car, select the up arrow, and there we go. We've got results for Ford car. Very similar to before. You tap the thumbnail and it will play back the event for the Ford car. But I can also see, tap on the screen, and I can now do AcuSearch, and it does this really trendy action where it's scanning the image. So very similar to before, it's scanning this image, looking for the elements of the image, and then trying to search for similar results. And in this instance, it's only found one similar result based on that AcuSearch facility. So let's try and do a different search. So I'm going to put cat, because I know we get lots of cats in this area. And there we have it. So we've got 3 incidents here of a cat. And again, if I zoom in, there's the cat sat on that table there. So now we're going to search for person with a rubbish bag. So I've selected that from an already pre-searched event. And because I've got a lot of events here, I can click on show all. and it will now bring up all the related person with bag over the last 7 days. And you can see here it's nicely grouped them into different days. So I've got the 27th of August and I've got the 28th of August. And this is myself on a different camera, taking the rubbish out. So now we're going to show you and demonstrate the voice to text function. So firstly we need to click on the microphone icon, Hi Vis Vest. And here we have some results for Hi Vis Vest. Show all. And we can play back the footage by clicking on the thumbnail. We can also do the AcuSearch facility again, where it freezes the frame. It's searching the image, and it's come back with some results. So we've got results of a car, so it's recognising a car within the image, but it's also recognising a person with a high-vis vest. Okay, that now concludes our demonstration of the HikConnect app with text search and voice to text search. Okay, we have now finished. Thank you all for attending the Hikvision AcuSeek NVR introduction webinar. I hope to see you all again soon with our next product update and technology innovations.